Buddy, well, this is a video that I made. I'm still single. So I have seen to the new channel as a video response to we broke up from a RandomYokoVlog. Or I'm gonna tell you, I remember I used to watch your videos, killing time watching this. Yeah, interesting. If you go to the topic, very interesting about it. Okay, living here in the US, you used to talk about Koreans. Right here in South Florida, it's all Cubans. I'm Colombian American, but it's all Cubans taking over. The mayors are born in Cuba and stuff. Yeah, most lately, I don't mind if there are issues or, going to anti-Castro or something like that. I'll turn my lamp on. Well, this is one thing that I'm saying. I have been to a trip that I'm gonna tell you I have vlogged some videos. I was in Canada. I vlogged some videos. Say, oh yeah, they're gonna tell me, oh, we're gonna go to Banff. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Banff. Where's Banff? Yeah, in Calgary. So what we're saying about it, this town, Miami, is America's Quebec. Why? Because I know for some Canadian folks living in any part of the world, I'm telling you is because right here in Miami, everybody else speaks Spanish. It's like in Quebec, they speak English. Miami is for my Canadian folks right there, our neighboring country to the north. Miami is like the US version of Montreal. The only difference that everybody speaks Spanish here, while in Montreal everybody speaks French. If you don't know French, you don't gotta get a job in Montreal, you're screwed. If you don't know Spanish, you're screwed of getting a job here in Miami, Florida. Isn't that right? That's true. That's really true in that case. So, turn my little lamp here. And again, see me there. Alright. This video I did is that it's just a video response. I am still single. I have no girlfriend. I couldn't find a job. I'm just thinking, what if I'm laying off, right? But when I came back to town, when I have to come back here, the main reason is to look for a job. And, I went to a job agency. Even though I like someone in Facebook, same thing of some people, it's okay. I think it's okay if they want to hate their own country. Some people are like that. I was born in the US, but I knew this. But you know what? I think there's things that have to deal with this. But one main reason for I'm telling you about this thing is that I'm talking about one particular company, and then the thing is, oh yeah, I have to know more about my own country, and then what I knew about how I get in touch with this kind of, Japanese culture and face-to-face seeing it, besides Godzilla movies and anime and stuff, there is one question to be asked for. I went to one of their festivals, not in the US, but in Calgary. It's kind of like you go there and you have these different festivities or festivals they have in Japan, or the Day of the Dead, and they used to show very, very interesting. I met people from there. They're like friendly, family oriented, warm, friendly. They do their thing, but it's not like. What's the similarities? Me being of a Latin culture, and in our festivals here, mostly here in the U.S., when people do something, they just go and get drunk and looking for trouble. The Japanese, on the other hand, are very, very chilled out. The only difference is that us Latins, we just go in there and then after that we go outside, cause any trouble and everything, and in other words, troublemaking. We're troublemakers. But in the other hand, then I find out something. In the other hand, the Japanese, in one way or the other, are more chilled out, more calmed, disciplined, organized, more well calmed. Yeah, but still share the same human warmth and family values that us share, but different culture, whatever it is kind of like, well, I never knew this thing could happen, and then I found out on the net. Then I found out on the net in New York City. Yeah, that's no wonder why I wanna feel like, you know what, I need to get a job, but I want to leave town. Before I leave the country, I'll leave town. That's kind of like something that I wanted to. I found something about the festivities about Japan Day. And what is Japan Day? It's like kind of celebrating Japanese culture in Central Park in May. And this every May that I heard that, and even though they have so many activities, kind of awesome in a way, and I see it's pretty cool, it's amazing, because after all, I think I am so amazed, even though I'm trying to learn their language, and somebody gave me a book to learn Japanese, I'm just saying, wow. That's the reason saying, you know what, I'm just saying Frank Sinatra's in my head. Boom, if I could make it there, I could make it anywhere. So that's the thing. That's the thing about what's the difference here. What's the difference between here and over there? It's like cannot say to speak, but only thing is that the Japanese community, it ain't that, it's too hard. Is like one thing missing is that, I used to watch the news in Channel 4 here in Miami, Florida. There used to be a reporter, the only reporter in Miami, Florida, in South Florida, that is just a little bit apart. Oh yeah, look at this. This person is, I see Shannon. She was the only Japanese reporter just to represent the small, hard to find community here. But she went to Kentucky. That's one thing I knows about Shannon Horry. That's it. If you want to find out about her, you could go look in the net. I mean, that's for Yoko from your new vlog channel, because this is just a video response about this. After all, wondering that this could be an interesting video. I don't know how long does this, because I have a phone and stuff, that I think there's so many issues involving not just here in this country, but worldwide, in the issue of mayors. Not just in this town, but in New York City. This is definitely an issue when you're talking about communities in New York City just to piss off communities. Well, there is something of this issue about this. If somebody has become mayor of New York, then they have to have something, and some ideas are good. Even though there is one thing I might not have agreement with, or that possibility if people change their minds. It is something regarding of sexual slavery, and I think this issue, this topic and this issue, and I'm gonna even touch about it, is because I think it is good to handle of something. You know, Germans don't, you know, the German people don't give a rat's ass because they know what they did during the Holocaust. But at the end, this would be nice to have a sort of museum dedicated to World War II. Why? It's because it's a museum dedicated to World War II, and then everything about World War II is over there in New York. But this issue has to be touched with the right mayor, the right person that knows what to do and knows to not to piss off some community in New York City. It is something that is permitted. Something regarded to the Jewish Holocaust, put it in front of the consulate. Not in the German consulate, but more properly across the street from the Japan Consulate in New York City, that this thing is permitted. Something around related to the Holocaust. But the issue of this simple, and I'm saying a statue. Yeah, a statue. What is it? What is the heck with that statue? And I know what it is, but I will show you what kind of statue will not be permitted in front of the consulate if they want to create a World War II museum. This kind of statue that is going to be dedicated in this World War II museum, that has to be very careful, because this will have involved that kind of statue needs to be inside the museum, because I think whatever it is that the issues is that if there is some kind of sort of of a certain community if they want to see that in front, this could be, if I'm just saying, in one way or the other, that the governor of California one time was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was born in Austria. It is like saying Schwarzenegger born in Austria, but there's nothing going on with this. But you know, this is something now. A city that I think one of the most populated cities in America or in the US could settle in, that if someone not born in this country could just forget and say, be generous with other people, to put, instead of putting the Holocaust, something related to the Holocaust in Germany of the Jews, they might put in front of the consulate the Comfort Women statue. I'm not saying to be this thing. This has to be settling of impeachment. And that's what I'm saying about settling an impeachment. It means people from that community seeing something that is not right have to settle an impeachment. And I knew this for a fact how it is of impeachment. You know, as long if that mayor gets impeached for doing this, if have settled for impeachment, maybe there's gonna be like things could happen in there. It is like this. You know, if I'm seeing about Japanese communities are in each country of the world, and then now we're talking about New York City, even though I don't live in New York, but this is what I'm saying. If there is, I see most of the mayors lately in Miami, Florida are born in Cuba. But this mayor that might do this might not be born in the US, but born next to way up north. But for generosity and purposes, having this thing of, you know, people could be sort of violent on go outrage or something. You know, I don't want people to go to rage and go protest and everything. That's what I'm saying, that people like that, or like they want to do this kind of generosity. And I think that if it have something with generosity or something like that, this is not regarding to whatever it is. The US as a country, you have full of immigrants from different countries. But settle for you that I know about deportation. Deportation means when somebody could lose a citizenship. Maybe this is what it is. We're not talking about Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner was born in the US. Bob was born in the US. But if there is a mayor that is not even born in the US and they want to put a comfort women statue in front of the Japan Consulate in New York City, then people could favor impeachment of the mayor. You could impeach a mayor. If you could impeach a mayor, you will impeach a mayor. Why? Because what in case of just if that former mayor could if that mayor could be impeached, if he was a former mayor, then he could, you know, say of vandalism and stealing money from New York City or whatever it is, anything vandalizing government property, then that guy could lose his American citizenship, go to Chrome in Buffalo, New York, deportation jail, and then the guy finally get deported for that. You know, deported, and then the things could fix out, replacing the statue that are not supposed to be, that's supposed to be inside the museum, took it out of the consulate, and then the World War II museum in New York City. And then if this has to be like this, because I know when people do these things, you know, we could favor people that could, you know, help each other and be respectful to a community in the town you're living. Weiner, for that case, if it was Weiner, he just go to jail. He ain't gonna go anywhere. He ain't gonna go anywhere because he was born in the US. But if it's someone else, not even born in this country, vandalize, you know, robbing from the New York City or whatever, then he will be deported. I mean, definitely deported. You know, that could happen. That's just in case of this guys go vandalism or cheat New York City. If he become mayor and piss off the Japanese community with that, you know. But other than that is like, there's things that I knew that this world is so messed up, that even though I'm the main reason for this is that I think this would be blamed for that. I think there's so many issues regarding with Japan, and this is not just the Senkaku Islands, but now I'm talking about the Lane Court Rocks, because I guess saying the Lane Court Rocks because that's the name that I'm saying, not to disrespect Korea, or not saying to say the name that is. Sorry folks for saying that. Takashima. Now that is one reason that I'm saying this is where it goes to this political fame of the UN general state that decided to have a new judge to fire some certain people and whatsoever. Now we're gonna have problems to our neighboring country. Speaking as an American, our neighboring country of North having a judge in the ICJ, that means, after all, is you have to have other people protecting the name of the sea. And then when I'm calling about the Sea of Japan, be calling the East Asia coast, or with that, or whatever name it is, have these judges in favor to keep the Sea of Japan and have the East Sea as a secondary name, and just leave it for Korea to just leave it East Sea, because it's like I'm talking about this. Even though my trip, my last day, I was talking to someone. It's like saying I'm saying, you know what? I'm talking about the Mississippi River. It's like somebody's talking about you mean the Louisiana River? Or saying the Gulf of Mexico, and somebody said, you mean the Gulf of America? That kind of chick in that train in Calgary. I'm just saying, enough is enough. Whatever belongs, it belongs to. But you know, I just get the question. I just get this thing talking about Koreans. The UN General Consul is Korean, most likely, and then there will be the ICJ judge. Then after all, if you might seen something, I think Yoko, you might see this. I don't know if you've seen South Park. The request of new judge in the ICJ. What else? New judge in the ICJ in the International Court of Justice, replacing the Japanese guy. But you have to have others on Japan's side. You know, we have American judge and Japanese judges on the seaside. The island side is this thing: new judge, new people, new crew, and what the heck would it be? You know, if you've seen South Park. I think Japanese folks, if you've seen South Park, Bigger, Better, and Uncut, you will see a song that I think everybody's saying, hey, why does everybody in Japan is playing South Park or watching South Park? The main reason why they're gonna pull out that track from South Park is because where the judge is from. Or because we're the people involving, and then that's what unofficially, you know, South Korea unofficially took the Lane Court Rocks. But when it's gonna become an officially, when the ICJ comes, when new ICJ judge and everything officially become part of South Korea, then everybody in every town in Japan will play that last track of South Park because of the new judge, where he's from. You know, that's just in case of saying this, because I knew this. I knew the change of sea, the change of, call it the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. In that case, we could have two judges from two sides on two sides of the border to keep the name Gulf of Mexico. But for that part, you know, let it stay U.S. and Japan for the sea protection. The island thing is more likely that, okay, we're not gonna play everywhere. I know what it's called, the Blame Canada soundtrack from South Park, even though when the new judge is coming to ICJ, so the Secretary of State of the Union to say new judge, new everybody else. Then but there is like a 99.9% that officially that it's gonna be called Dokdo. When it's gonna be called Dokdo, then the Blame Canada song is played all over Japan because of the new judge. And that's kind of like I'm saying is going to happen pretty soon. Well, other than that, and I'm saying, yeah, I do like someone, but for now on, I'm single. I'm single, and then I'm glad that I think Yoko from Random Yoko, you always look for something better. There's better people, and then I understand these issues and situations going on, even though there is always something that I agree with. One thing, there's one thing that I knew, that free trades are good, but actually when I saw a video, my sister pull up something on YouTube that I think regarding to whatever has happened, these companies has made chemical weapons and they're involved with the war in Syria, and then we need to take that company to the Netherlands and Hague, whichever judge comes by. Or, you know, this case is about a company called, even though there's companies like it, like Syngenta and Cargill and Dow and DuPont, it's called Monsanto. Monsanto is, as what I heard of it, Monsanto was involved in the HARP. And whenever I see about Monsanto, that I knew about it before I ever thought about, yeah, guys or folks, it's okay to hate my video because it's not me, it's my idea. Hate the video is because of Monsanto. Monsanto has one time exported wheat. You know, one time wheat from Oregon has to be exported to Japan, and then when they find out it is a genetically modified wheat, if it's that genetically modified garbage that Monsanto has been, you know, talking about for like they have created for years, they mess up the American farmers. They did that with NAFTA. They did that with the canola beans. And somebody judged this guy judged Monsanto, and he won his case against Monsanto. So that happened in Mexico, but whatever the case may be, the wheat has never been or has banned to being exported from Japan because of Monsanto. And then this is the reason why I'm saying this, that I know what it is. There's so many things beyond this world because it's a world epidemic. And I saw the video about a documentary. It's in Spanish. I know there has to be subtitled in English, even subtitled in Japanese, before the plan of the Japan Free Trade Agreement between the US and Japan, that agricultural products, that I think that we need to take Monsanto to Hague before that and ban GMOs worldwide. So I made a video in Universal Man 002 channel. So we could take Monsanto and companies like that to Hague, you know, to take over the food industry all over the world. So when this thing comes around about this, if Monsanto gets sued, then every country in the world, even the U.S., will ban GMOs because of the Hoggy Food Act. And then that is definitely a better idea because it protects the food. And this is actually helping Japan also, because we don't want nobody wants, not even Americans, not even Canadians, not even Mexicans, nobody wants genetically modified garbage taking over their crops and people losing jobs and money and farmers. That's why Monsanto has created more crimes. Probably those gangs were black farmers or African American farmers or any farmer. They could go join in gangs and shoot out because they have nothing to do and steal and rob because of Monsanto. You know, that's just the case here in America. But in Colombia, with the FTA, I know it is because of thinking of Colombia. I was thinking for the free trade agreement with Colombia. I was thinking if the Japan free trade agreement has been settled before all that, then this is why these guys use HARP. Even though I'm sad, this is why I know this is better off helping out. One reason to help out them. One time I knew this when everything I've seen on TV, when I've seen something on TV, damn. Do I go to a church and even though I wrote a letter and I give it and I need to go, stewardship department. What is this thing of the stewardship program called Help Thy Neighbor? You know, because I remember because of the floods has happened in Alberta and stuff. That means us doing aid to our neighboring country, whichever you know, crap happens in Canada, whatever crap happens in Mexico, we're there to help out and give us aid. And that's what each country needs to do. Be more of humanitarian work and help each other, you know. And then this is regarding that, and then the things about donations of rebuilding Fukushima and stuff because of the earthquake in 2011 still. And people might not just give a damn about the news, what's going on, but you know, I think that will be, as a good Catholic or whatever, or what I'm saying, this would be more like I'm not in Japan, but I might just help with the victims in Fukushima, and that is the most important stuff, because these people could suffer earthquake, but they don't care. One thing about this, they protest against Monsanto. I see the protests of Monsanto in Tokyo, Japan. They do the same thing what we did for our basketball team with pots and pans, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, because I think Japanese people have balls too. They have guts, they have balls. They have, in Spanish we call cojones. Because then you know how to protest this, because whatever it is, they lose businesses and everything because all they care about is families. Family members first, their pet, their dog, friends and family members that are close ones. And that's why they're stick together and more like us. But for example, this is more what it is. It's about experience something that they have and I experience. Yeah, these guys are humanitarian or whatever it is. And after all, healthcare here in this country, that has to be something about taking these pharmaceutical companies and put them in Hoggy. Yeah, I don't know what if to have the same system, national healthcare. What is the Obamacare supposed to be, our version of national healthcare? You know, this what I heard about it. You know, we need to at least have national healthcare. This kind of thing has been that. And then this is why I never have a vlog, even though it's a very long vlog, but this is why I never have a vlog about the consulate in Miami, Florida. But everything that is all the issue is, even though I like this person on Facebook, but I think if you're watching this video, as long as it takes, whatever it is, you know, Matt will do his thing. Matt, in the other hand, he is worried about his stuff. I think he's more focused on his thing, and he will be focused, and maybe he have no time for a relationship. Maybe he has time for chilling out with friends and his family. It's because of this. There's always something better for you, and there's always something to look ahead that regarding all these issues going on in this world. I think that you could help me out in one thing that I surely help me to do. I know I used to see the vlogs. I used to I remember my log. I used to like her, but she lived far away. Actually, most of the chicks that I like are mostly from out of town. Is that crazy? You know, is that whatever you do is we could be friends and that's it. You know, I might just do something. I might just have things that I settle on. I just want to look myself as a DJ. I have some songs dedicated to one chick younger than me. You know, I don't know if God forbid, I don't know if it will be, you find a wingman. I don't know if you could be my wing girl. Well, maybe you could come over to Miami, Florida and be friends with her. You could be friends with her and we could chill out of Miami, Florida. This is the case of what it is that, you know, besides the issues, what happened in our countries, we could say that this issue of these things of what will happen, the mayor of New York City and this and that and all this and all in between is this. You could be friends with her. Her name is Mai, but I know that if you could come to Miami, Florida, we could meet and other stuff. We could, you know, say something. You know, I'm just saying, if it has happened to me, it has happened to you. But you know, more that you embrace your own country. Each country makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and keep on going. Embrace what is positive about Japan. I think I have to do the same thing. Embrace what is positive about America, or about my South American country, Colombia, my parents' country, because I wasn't even born in Colombia. And then I am saying this: once you're friends with I think her name is Mai Kojanagi. Put up Mai Kojanagi .96, or you look at her on Facebook, you be friends with her. And then if you watch this video, it is something that we could come to Miami, Florida, chill, and you know, show you around Miami. This is it. This is what it is. Other than that, is like, regardless of these issues, we need to fight against Monsanto and stuff. I know you could do the movement where you could do better off than mostly just territorial issues or whatever those little things may be. Is Monsanto protest in Fukuoka. I might join in the Monsanto protest in Miami, Florida. My sister is involved against Monsanto, and together we could, you know, fight off and protest. But the most important thing, take Monsanto to Hague and sue them. The Hague Food Act is something that we need to have written from countries of all over the world. Other than that, whatever the case may be, right to know communities in there. And this is Miami, Florida, but like regarding New York, you know, we have to do something about, you have to know and understand, know your own. And then that's for Yoko from Random Yoko, when the Yoko vlog. My video response doesn't matter. I am single, it's okay. Remember to know your own people living in there, know what is right and what is it about this World War II museum, and what is it and what's your ideas about the statue, and regarding to a mayor not even born in the US but north of our border, allowing to piss off the community, the Japanese community in New York City with a comfort woman statue like I have shown you. So I know what it is and what it is. I think it's better off if he has that idea. I think he's better off not suited for mayor. The only thing you could do for mayor is that you could use the statue that has to be inside the museum, even though I'm not saying that people have to know this issue, but that has to be inside doors, because the only thing permitted is something related to the Holocaust in Germany, or a Jewish kid or something like that, from, you know, being enslaved from the Nazis in front of the consulate for representing the World War II museum. I mean, the Japan Consulate, that is. So, goodbye. Peace out, everybody. And I think you have video responses. My video response to your we break up video, because I am still single and I have no chick. Goodbye.